All right, we're here today. I'm here. This video is about I want to take the moral foundation test, and this I tweeted this out earlier that I was going to do this video, so here it is today. And the reason why I found out about this test is because I was reading this book, The Righteous Mind: Why Good People Are Divided by Politics and Religion, by Jonathan Haidt, I believe is pronounced. And these are some screenshots I took, but I'll get back to this in a minute. Right now, I want to read this part. Social scientists such as, I'm going to butcher that name, so I don't bother reading it, and Jonathan Haidt argued that there is substantial variation in human morality and that these differences influence not just a person's decision making and reasoning processes, but also their political outlook. In recent years, researchers and scholars from all over the world had converged on the framework of moral foundations theory in an attempt to explain these individual differences as well as make sense of the instances of moral outrage and offense that are increasingly seen in public debate. By drawing on these findings from their research, this test aims to give you your scores according to the moral foundations framework. For each of the following items indicate whether you think it's morally okay or not. So this is the 36 questions is not that bad. I can get to that real quick. But I wanted to read the screenshot that I took because I think it's very fascinating, and I also anecdotal evidence to this too that I have. In a study I did with Jesse Graham and Brian Nosek, we tested how well liberals and conservatives could understand each other. We asked more than 2,000 American visitors to fill out the Moral Foundation questionnaire, which is this questionnaire here. 1/3 of the time they were asked to fill it out normally, answering as themselves. 1/3 of the time they were asked to fill out as they think a typical liberal would respond. 1/3 of the time they were asked to fill it out as a typical conservative would respond. This design will allow us to examine the stereotypes that each side held about the other. More importantly, it allowed us to assess how accurate they were by comparing people's expectations about typical partisans to the actual responses from partisans on the left and right. Who has the best, bear with me 1 second, best able to pretend to be the other, excuse me. The results were clear and consistent. Moderates and conservatives were the most accurate in their predictions, whether they were pretending to be liberals or conservatives. Liberals were the least accurate, especially those who describe themselves as very liberal. Whoa. See, that's very interesting, because I've seen that too. Liberals tend to not understand conservatives and not even bother either. It's like by definition, being a conservative is a bad person. How many times have I heard that online? From the Young Turks, from Kyle Kalinske, from all of these individuals. Mike Figueredo, I can go on and on. Those type of leftists. The Young Turks connected leftists, basically. How many times you heard, by conservatives, they're horrible people. They want to kill you. They want to do this and that. How many times you've heard that? A million times. They didn't want to talk to the other side. Meanwhile, conservatives tend to understand liberals, which is why, which is again true, because I've come across conservatives all the time that are able to understand what I mean and understand where I'm coming from. So it's very interesting, and it's, to me, fascinating too. This book has been. I've been reading it now for a while. Also, I wanted to read this part real quick. It's not highlighted, but I still want to read it. The biggest errors in the whole study came when liberals answered the care and fairness questions while pretending to be conservatives. When faced with the questions such as one of the worst things a person could do is hurt a defensive animal, or justice the most important requirement for society, liberals assumed that conservatives would disagree. Again, how do they know that? Based on what? It's like, why don't you ask, instead of just assuming that, just ask conservatives, what do they think? Their answers may surprise you. Alright, now I'm going to actually take this test real quick. Hopefully this won't take me too long. Question 1. The principal of a school says that none of her students are allowed to draw Muhammad on school premises, or to bring Muhammad cartoons to school. As long as you ban all religions. I'm perfectly fine with this. If you're just banning Islam or Muhammad, I'm not okay with this. So let's assume that it's all religions, not just that one. It's okay. So I'm just gonna put like that, I mean, yeah, like that, because as long as you're banning all religions, I'm fine with it. If not, then it's not true. But I'm just gonna assume it's banning all religions because. Alright, question 2. Some men have a private all-male club, and feminists takes them to court, demanding they open up to women. Again, this is because an all-males club means it's just men, obviously. But at the same time, women can have an all-females club. I mean, you don't need just to demand that a private all-male club open up. So I'm gonna say this is not okay. You can have your own private female club. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of those out there. A man sets up an unlicensed medical practice but still makes all of his customers sign a contract acknowledging that he's not a licensed physician. Again, as long as the patient knows he's unlicensed, then it's perfectly fine and they also sign a contract, yeah, I'm fine with this because you know the risk going in, so I'm okay with this. Scott is hosting a dinner party. For dessert, he serves chocolate cake shaped to look like dog poop. Okay, that's perfectly fine. It's not really a moral issue. A group of parents concerned about their children's risk of obesity demand that local stores stop selling XL-sized candy bars and soft drinks. No, that's not okay. How about a parent control their kids and don't buy them the XL-sized candy bar and soft drinks? I don't know, crazy thought. But no, it's not okay. While live on air TV show, a man kills a baby rabbit with a knife. That gave me chills. I mean, that's not okay. I mean, that goes too far for me, so it's not okay. A man orders a custom-built sex doll designed to look just like his niece. Ooh, super creepy. I mean, that's not cool. That's not okay. That's going way too far. Sarah Dogs has 4 puppies. She can only find a home for 2 of them, so she kills the other 2 with a stone to the head. Is that really necessary? Fuck. No, that's not okay. Sorry. I mean, dogs are like family to me. I cannot possibly, be okay with that. When Kelly asks Steven out on a date, he sneers and says, like, I'm gonna date a woman who looks like my overweight bulldog. Oh my god. Um, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that personally, so no, it's not okay. But I'm just gonna leave it there. Because I don't want to go over here like it's totally outrageous. In sex education class, students are taught that since sexes are equal, the girls should sleep with as many guys as they want without being feared, fear of being considered sluts. Okay, I'm okay with that. The head of a public department says that none of her employees are allowed to smoke at all, not even in their free time. That's not okay. Like, who the hell do you think you are telling me not to smoke, even in my free time? On company time, okay, I get it. But my free time, no. By the way, to be clear, I don't smoke. But, who's my employer telling me that I can't smoke even in my free time? You know? Hannah inherited an old flag from her country from her father, but has never used it. One day, when Hannah's cleaning the house, she discovers that she's out of rags, so she uses a flag as a rag to clean the house. Well, again, it's a moral question. So, are you okay with a person using a flag to clean the house? No, I don't know because it's tough. I mean, I love, I mean, it's, a flag is a respect thing. It's, respecting your country and respecting your heritage. At the same time, though, it's just a flag. It's not like it doesn't really matter. So, this one I'm going to leave in the middle. I'm not going to really answer because I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Some people might think, well, that's a cop out, but I'm sorry. I don't know how to answer that one. So, Question 13. When Carl's soccer team is squaring off against a team of another nation, he sings along to the other team's national anthem instead of his own. I'm fine with that. I really don't care. Bob and Pam are siblings. Bob is given $10 by their father and told to distribute it between themselves as he likes. Bob gives $1 to Pam and pockets the nine for the rest. Pockets the $9 himself. Jesus Christ. That's not okay. I mean, come on. I mean, anyway, first of all, why is the dad giving Bob and Pam are okay? Yeah, dad. Why is the dad giving $10 and this? Oh yeah, divide it between you and your sister however you want. Right? Of course, that's naturally a boy doesn't keep most money for himself. But no, it's not. It's not cool. I mean, come on. Jack and Will are classmates. Will's father is a lawyer. When he picks up Will from school, he refuses to say hi to Jack because he's only a janitor. Yeah, well, that's a prick move. So fuck you. It's not okay. A Christian bakery refuses to decorate a cake with chocolate letters that would carry a pro-gay message. If it's a private business, he has every right to refuse. That's my opinion on that, so I'm okay with that. You know, even though to be clear, I'm pro-gay marriage and I have no problem with that. But if it's a private business, I'm fine with them refusing that. It's on them, you know. If they want to lose a business, I'm fine with that. I mean, don't complain to me when you got a business, that's all. Julie asked her friends not to fraternize, with their ex-boyfriend Jake, since he cheated on her with other women. 3 weeks later, Julie's friend Melissa is dating him. I don't know, that's not cool, but at the same time, I really don't give a shit. Tom and Linda have been dating for almost a year. Since they never agreed to be exclusive, Tom sleeps with other women without telling Linda. Now, this one I'm okay with because they're not exclusive. They never agreed to be exclusive, but if it were me, I would still tell the individual I'm with. But it's okay because overall it's okay, but at the same time, me personally, I would tell the individual I'm with because that's the type of man I am. I don't want to, I don't want to hide anything. So it's like, this is what I'm doing. You don't like it, we can end this here. If you're fine with it, whatever. A new action figure becomes all the rage among the boys in Timmy's class. When Timmy's parents get to the store, they buy all the action figures for Timmy, leaving none for other children. That's a douche move. Holy shit. Definitely, that's a douchebag move. Oh yeah, let's buy all the fucking toys for our son and make sure no other kid can get it. It's like, what a douchebag move. Brian does not cooperate with law enforcement. Whenever he's pulled over, he refuses to answer questions and start bickering with officers about his rights. I'm fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. It's reasonable. I don't have a problem with that. Amy and Mia are co-workers. One day, Amy offers Mia to take one of her shifts, no strings attached. Sometime later, Amy could really use someone to fill in for her, but Mia doesn't feel compelled because Amy's original offer had no strings attached. As long as no strings attached, it's okay. I have no problem with that. Adam and Beth have been dating for 3 years. Adam is reluctant to have children, so Beth tells him that she's on the pill when she isn't. That's not cool. Sorry, that's not okay. You need to be completely honest with your... What the hell? I never took out my water. Oh well. Let me finish this then. You need to tell him. That's not cool. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. An Army lieutenant neglects to file a report on a civilian killing done by his troops because he knows it was an accident. Not okay. You need to file that report, no matter what. A pair of parents read about the exotic delicacies of Africa and the Far East. In the coming weeks, they serve dog meat to their children. Again, not cool with that. I'm a dog guy. I love dogs, and I'm not gonna eat dog meat. So personally, I'm not cool with that. In sex education class, students are asked to inflate a condom with their mouth. I'm okay with that. I don't know what I don't know why it's even a moral question. Sarah gets drunk in the bar and makes out with 2 strangers at once. Again, I'm okay with that. John's soccer coach decides that everyone on the team must wear black soccer shoes. Black soccer shoes. Try it again. But on the day of the match, John turns out with white soccer shoes instead. Again, I'm okay with that. Emma and Cindy are summer interns at Chris's office. Emma does slightly better than Cindy, but at the end of the summer, there's only one job opening. but Chris gives it to Cindy because he finds her more attractive. Again, it's his office, so who am I to judge him for picking the other girl because he's prettier? The thing is, if she's better at her job. If no, then that'll ruin his business. If yes, then it's not a problem. So that's up to him to decide. So I'm okay with that. Tim asks his father permission to stay out late because his classmates are throwing a party. When his father refuses, Tim slams the door in his face. This is very interesting because I was raised to respect my parents and not to question them and stuff like that. But at the same time, your parents are ultimately at the same time I want my children to question authority. I don't want them just to bow their head and it's like, yes sir, whatever you say. I don't want them to do that. So I'm gonna say it's okay, but just barely. It's like when a homeless man asks Matt for spare change, Matt keeps on walking, saying, "Don't talk to me, loser." Again, that's not cool. I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, I've always had this belief. Even I always give whatever spare change I have to homeless people because I always think, no matter what they use the money for, I'm trying to help them. So even if I gave them 50 cents, I'm still helping these individuals. Even whatever they use the change for is up to them. But for me, I know that I want to help them, and I help these individuals. 31, almost done. Dan turns up the TV just as his father is talking about military service. I'm fine with that. Again, he doesn't want to hear it. Why in the world would I care? Tina promises her dying mother that she'll visit her grave once a month. After her mother passed away, Tina finds it hard to squeeze in the time, so he drops in. And her visits dropped about once a year. I'm fine with that. I mean, again, my father passed away in '99. I visited his grave once. And that was in 2016, I believe. Yeah, 2016, when I went to Puerto Rico. And he died in '99. So again, I'm okay with this. I'm not that outraged by that. Jane's boss calls all of his employees by their first name, but does not allow any of them to call him by his first name. When Jane insists must be a two-way street, he fires her. Well, he's the boss, it's his company, but at the same time, that's a douche move. So I would say it's not okay if you're gonna call your employees by their first name. You have to allow them to call you by your first name too. So that's just me. 34. In biology class, a human hand preserved in a jar is passed around the students. I'm fine with that. I mean, it's biology class. It's not like it's inappropriate there. When Lily tells her classmate Sue that it is her dream to be a prom queen, Sue laughs out and says you're too ugly for that. Fucked up, but again, I'm pro free speech, so I'm okay with that. Last question. Using both the condom and the pill, a brother and sister decides to want to sleep with each other just once, just to see what it'd be like. That's not cool. I'm not okay with that. Absolutely not. So let's see what my results are. Wow. Look at that. Turns out that my morality is closest to that of a conservative. Your strongest moral foundation is liberty. Interesting. That's very interesting. I would have never thought that I would pop up as conservative. That's a new one. Your strongest moral foundation is liberty. Your morality closest to a conservative. Do I consider myself a conservative? No. Do I consider myself a liberal? No. I don't really like what's the word I'm looking for? Labels. I don't like labels, If you want to refer to me as a conservative, that's fine. If you want to refer to me as a liberal, whatever, I don't really care. I mean, I mostly have left-leaning policies like Medicare for all and raising the minimum wage and all that stuff, but ultimately I'm not tied down to one label. So this is very fascinating. If you guys want to take the test, I'll link it down in the description box below. All my social medias will be there as well. My Rumble and my Odyssey page will be there as well. And that's the end of this video for now. Hope you guys found this interesting and enjoyed it. And I recommend reading this book, The Righteous Mind by Jonathan Haidt, because I haven't finished it yet, but it's a really good book, I think. And I think you guys would enjoy it too. Well, until the next video, I hope you have a great night or day or whatever, and I'll see you next time.